Hi there, I'm on Belinda's channel and I finally decided to come on today, and obviously, um, it's got me thinking about a lot of things really, on the way the world is today and how it's turning out when it comes to this new way of life. I know Belinda's not been on the channel doing videos, but obviously her way of working is her own way of working, so any communication that you should have with her, you contact her through the email. But for this particular video, I wanted to talk about planting the seed of hope. We have to plant a seed in our own way. Now, last week, about 2 or 3 days ago, it was around the weekend, I decided to go to a cemetery. Now, the cemetery could be used in many different ways when it comes to magic. Hello there, Julia. You could go to the cemetery to collect cemetery water. You can bury your spell work in a particular spot. You can cast magic on the ground on a particular cemetery plot. Hello there, Carla. You could, cast whatever you need to when it comes to the certain places where the spirits you can work with. And then there is the entrance to the keepers, the gatekeeper, which is Hecate, and you're offering your coins. I did all of that, but I decided to go into reflection and prayer. Now, who was I praying to? Not Jesus, not God. Thank you. I didn't pray to Jesus and God, but I brought that energy in because I wanted to see if I could let the spirits and the energy know that all deities are absolutely essential when hearing our thoughts and feelings. We're not we're devoted to anything that is actually serving a purpose to help us. And I did the prayers and I said what I wanted to say about poverty and about homelessness and sick people around, and even acknowledging mental health, people who actually feel confused about things, people who have dementia and Parkinson's and Alzheimer's, all these terrible things that people get. I thought I'd make a prayer. Now, we can only make it happen if we are going to spill out our emotions, but we have to do it with strength. We can't break down, we can't fall apart and say, we can't handle our own reality and our own life, when really our own reality is part of somebody else's reality that's in our circle. So if it's weak in our center of what we believe, our love and our jobs, our health, all the things that we built together with our partner, and we have those people in our circle and things start to fall apart, they are going to be affected with whatever's going on in your circle. Well, I could try and pray for everything. Belinda is working the spells. Doesn't mean she isn't working if she's not on the actual YouTube. That would be between her and clients when it comes to videos, but she will be coming on very soon. There's been a lot of changes and a lot of new things, busyness of our shop and stuff like that. So that is what we've been doing. When it comes to praying, she'll be back on soon. She will be. I know it for sure. And she's well, she's fine. We've been dealing with an actual new bedroom on the house and stuff like that. Yes, perhaps I called upon spirit guides, but it's recognizing that there's a beautiful energy in most of the things that we have in our circle, because we're attracting it, because it's within us. It's within us. And that is what we need to understand, is that that beautiful light that you shine from who you are, you're beginning to start to make things happen in the world because you're starting to love who you are. Now, if you can't love who you are, how can you project that to people and plant that seed of hope? So I tried to pray for as much as possible, and I felt good about it. But then again, I felt the need to want to go and do it again, so I probably will go back to that same location and pray. But we can pray in any religion that we're doing, and we need to open up to the possibility that actually our prayers will come alive in a circumstance in our life at some point where it's linked to us doing something actually about it. You know, it isn't about just other people doing anything about it, it's about you. If you're praying, you are bringing you out this passion and this drive and this energy that you, in your prayers, are going to be the one to do something about it. And that is what it's about, making things happen, shining that little light in the world, that truly can be something that can make a difference to other people's lives. Now, I know people have been getting the stimulus checks from the government, and not everybody needs that when it comes to living, but there are people out there that really depend on it. You know, we live in McAllen, you know, Belinda, myself, my wife and I, and the children are one part of the other end, about 100 blocks of the street through McAllen, and it's a nice place to live. But as you go back 100 blocks to Juliet, our daughter's old elementary school where she used to be, it is a neighbourhood where there is poverty, there is poor people, small apartments for, you know, big families. And it shocked me. I thought, from one location just about 5 miles or 4.5 miles back down the road, we have peaceful neighbourhood where I live. You know, a Calvary Baptist church opposite, a busy main road that's going towards a Walmart supercentre, and then it attaches to the expressway. But the other end, it's just small apartments where you can see families struggling with everyday life. Now, if they're dealing with how to get by when it comes to food and money, what about all the other things that they're having to deal with? Because if they can't afford medicines and they can't afford to keep their health, you know, good, then not having money and stability, it actually breaks down all the other things that you need to focus on. And health is just one big thing that we look at, where you've got people going into the hospitals for other things that's not coronavirus related. So the hospital helps others, and we need to remind ourselves that we think the hospital are just dealing with coronavirus. No, they're dealing with what the normal reality of other patient situations are before the coronavirus came. So we send our thoughts to doctors, nurses, and anyone in ICU, because they are like angels brought to this world. Well, that Carla, that, you know, there are many more people like yourself that could just give. You know, we can't do it all the time, but there's a little story I want to tell you as well. I parked up at a Stripes. It's like a convenience store. There's many of them in Texas. And I parked up on 10th Street in McAllen in the parking lot. And there was an elderly couple. And he came up to me and says, he had jump leads, positive and negative jump leads. He said, can you connect it to the King Ranch and get my battery going? I couldn't believe it. An elderly couple stranded. They must have crashed the side of their car and there was a dent. It wasn't looking good, the car. You could see, compared to my life and theirs, I felt terrible. I really did. The battery got going, and I said, if you need some help for me to buy you a new battery, or help you, you know, get some money together to get a new one, call me. So I gave my number to him. And then as the car started and they were reversing, because I was on my own, I saw another elderly man with his wife, and they were homeless. And they didn't have a car. I knew exactly who they were because of other community people who knew of them, and they helped them with Salvation Army across the road, and then the church can help them. We know certain people in that community. And he said, have you got some money for some food? Now, I know that it was a genuine situation. This was their real reality of what they were going through. What they did was they took the money, went in to the convenience store, the Stripes, and they bought corn dog, and they bought something like a sandwich. And I'd never seen an elderly couple or a human being eat the food so fast. They were so hungry, they were thin, they were finding it hard to walk to where they needed to go. I asked if they needed me to take them to a destination or a place, and they said no, it's okay. But they went, bless you, thank you so much. I said, if there was more people like you, I said, I don't want there to be more people like me. I just want people to find compassion, empathy, love. And when you're helping one person with something like that, you're planting a little seed of hope that, you know, they can rise up from what they're going through and say, wait a minute, I can't be going through this anymore. I'm going to get out of it and remove myself from this homeless situation. Some people can do it, but not everybody. You know, some people just don't have the mental ability, capacity to be able to do it. And it just got me thinking, you know, if we can't help people when they're with their car, if we can't help people with money or food, then what does that tell us as a nation, who we are? Whether the coronavirus is here or not, is that what it takes to bring a virus in? And we have to go through this big change in the world to adjust, because I don't think it's going to ever be any different now. The world is shaped to a different thing now. Does it have to come to this for human beings to have compassion for one another? No, it shouldn't. Because if we have to recognize that we can be more compassionate now and have this awakening through the coronavirus, then what does that tell us about who we are before the coronavirus came? Why were we not doing it then? Why were we not being that support to the elderly or opening the door to them? It cannot be, thank you, Leslie, it cannot be that the human brain simply has to have a big knock on the head. We have to have a big bang on the head in order to knock sense into us. Surely our human brain, after so many centuries, has evolved from the monkey to now to recognize that if we can speak in depth and if we can talk deep about how we feel to another human being, can't we surely just get it when it comes to compassion and love, instead of having to go through world wars and sacrifice and hardship and many things that, you know, like this virus, that makes us, turn the light switch on and our mind suddenly realizes, now is the time to be compassionate to others. No, the time to be compassionate was always there. It's just that we have to go through a few knocks and changes in our own life to recognize that, wait a minute, everybody is in the same boat as me. Somebody, even if it's the richest person, they're feeling a little bit of something, aren't they, of depression over this. You know, it is, somebody's going through something in their own way, and we need to, like, step back and recognize that the woman across the road who's just lost her husband still hurts whether the virus is here. You know, she doesn't have that one person who could take her to dialysis. Until we can just step into their shoes, you know, we'll never understand. Maybe they'll never understand what I go through, but it's to just imagine what it would be like. And that's the only thing we can do. And be a good ear, be a good listener, be someone who can actually just be a good friend and comfort somebody in the time of sadness. But those prayers that I said about the dead and about those that are a family, a unit that feel less of a unit because that one member isn't there anymore because they died of coronavirus, because they feel that without that one person, they don't have that family unit anymore. It's trying to get people to recognize there's more there in their life that they've got to live for, keeping family unity regardless of whether you are missing a family member. And if we lose a family member, even if it's not to coronavirus, we have to recognize that that one person who died would have wanted our family to live, to grow, to be prosperous, or to just live life each day right here at the center of our hand. This is our reality. This is who we are. This is what we should be living for. The very people around us in our circle who we love and trust and would do anything for. And while we are being abused by certain people who we never thought would do it to us, we have to try and not try, we have to say to ourselves, it is a test. It is a lesson in life we must learn. Do we get rid of them? Or do we keep them in our life? And I may look tired on the video. I haven't stopped. I've been dealing with the bedroom for Caleb, our eldest son, and moving the boys separately, working on the shop. I do want to say on the video, actually, that if you're ordering on Etsy, please take the time to go and look online if it's USPS or UPS or FedEx that we're using, or DHL, that the DHL is like a European type of international courier that you use for packages. If your country is on the list as a restricted country for Etsy on our shop, or for any kind of international order, just don't order from us right now. You know, if you're in America, great. I've just had to refund a lady from South Africa. I feel like I've let her down. I feel like I can't get the things she needs over there. But we can do spell work for her. That's what she wants, and that's what we're going to do for her. But we have had a sudden surge of orders because people don't know when they're going to get certain items from certain places. And our prices are pretty good. But I do urge certain people, if you can't have packages come to your country, don't order from us for now. And then you're just going to have to wait, because I can't do anything about it. But I do feel a little bit of a sorrow and sadness that I can't get certain things to people. But at the moment, pending most of the orders that I've got are able to be shipped. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for your support. It's been a long road where I've had to be getting out orders every day, every week. You know, it's been constant, and it's not died down, but we're blessed and we're thankful for the support that people have given Enchanted Bell Witch. And when I say Enchanted Bell Witch, I mean support to Belinda, as she is the Enchanted Bell Witch, and our business, what we have. But I want to end the video with a simple: plant your seed of hope, pray, go out there, be active and make something happen. Motivate yourself to do something, an action of a positive thing for somebody else, and it really is making a difference to this world. So I've been pleased to come on to talk to you on YouTube, and I felt the need to do so. And I know that if the seeds aren't planted because we're not willing to speak up or help somebody physically, then the seed's never going to grow. That shining light's never going to expand for this world to get better. And when we plant that seed of hope, we're going to water it and nurture it and take care of it. And that's what I mean. We, like our own reality as well, is a seed of love and compassion and what we live for every day. I'm glad for you, Carla, which we all should be doing. Our seed of hope, our seed of love and compassion is our families as well. Everything that we have, we neglect it and we don't water it, then it's not going to grow leaves. Or it may grow leaves for a short time and we're doing good, but we then start to break down mentally because we're dealing with the coronavirus. So the leaves start to wither and die because we're not watering and focusing on what's important. We need to block out the religion that is no good for us, that's negative, but bring in the religion that's positive. And when I say religion, be it eclectic, with respectful to people who are of a Muslim faith, who are of Hindu faith, who are of an Amish life that they live. Those types of lives are different to us. We've got Christianity, we've got Catholicism, we've got paganism, Wicca. They're all different things, you know, that we need to be able to learn from one another, that in each and every religion there is a way of life. There's a love that is demonstrated in their own method and technique and way. And we need to stay well clear of news and false propaganda and politics, because it will destroy a very central part of our reality, which is our family. if we mention it to family members, we're going to affect their ability to cope on an everyday basis. And we don't want to do that. We want to keep it as normal as possible with positive vibes, wonderful things. Yeah, and people like me appreciate you and those that come on here who talk to us about what you do for others. So we're all equal in all of this. It's not about me and Belinda being a saint or a god or a type of energy that, you know, is better than everybody else. We're all the same. No one is better than no one. And love is the key to making the world and shaping it into where it is. I don't know where the world is going to, whatever. It's shaping to something. But if it can shape the world to realise that you have African people in one nation and you've got Americans in another, of all different races and cultures, and then you've got European countries, and then you've got Asia. All of those nations across the world have human beings on them, regardless of different language, regardless of skin colour, regardless of religion and sexuality and the political rules and laws that we all have in each country. We all are human beings in this world. Whether or not we have the different ways of life, different things we follow in our countries, we need to band together as one. And the bad people out there, they're going to be amongst us. We're going to get scorpions and poisonous snakes and spiders amongst the beautiful tweeting birds that we are. There's going to be a snake about in the grass that we won't see the signs, just like we never saw the signs of this virus. It's an enemy. And then when we have leaders that don't make proper decisions, then therefore they're another snake, and we have to overcome it. And the only way we can overcome it is not be affected by what they say, not be affected by the false propaganda and the false news out there. There's this left and the right side of news. There's CNN that represent the Democratic side, and then there is the Fox News that's more Republican, isn't it? And we got to decide what we want to follow, who we want to be, where we want to sit or stand in this pedestal of our journey. Where are we going to be? Are we going to sit on the fence and not be a political person and be more for the environment, which is where I'm kind of more leaning towards? I'm a very liberal person, but I'm more a socialist, democratic guy that believes in speaking up for poverty and immigration and foreign policy that across the world that needs to be, you know, used with great skill, with a diplomatic approach to work with other countries. It needs somebody who takes care of each other, the people. If you care about the people, you're going to care about their best interests. If you just care about yourself, you're not going to care about anything that is important for a country you're representing. It is all very connected to spirituality. If you can't love the self, if you don't have respect for who you are, if you're just part of greed and lies and disloyalty, then that's what you're going to give off to the people. Jada Davis, hello. I've just read your message. If you would kindly, you could send, if you want to go to the Etsy shop and message me and give me your contact number, I will then pass the contact number over to Belinda. But remember, she still charges at each consultation. She's still charging just to speak to people. That is because of her very limited time, but I'm sure eventually she'll come on. I'm a Democrat liberal woman. We've got to do what we got to do, whoever we are. Even if we just have no base or no symbol of who we are when it comes to politics, we must find that something about who we are and what we represent politically, who we are and what we represent religiously, because how are we expected to grow? We can't just live a dormant, empty person and not be anything that we represent. We've got to. So you have to come to the acceptance that if we have this way of life and democratic side isn't in power, there's a reason for it, isn't there? You know, we have to accept that there are major failings and flaws in that party too. Yeah, Belinda's been a bit under the weather lately, but she's getting back on track. There's a lot of spell work, a lot of clients. Some of those clients we turn down. Well, Belinda turns down because they're not things that can be done. But she is working with most people when it comes to going down the list on the emails. And I'm sure, Jada, she will be in touch. Message me with the number, and you can, I'm unfortunately going to have to, with Belinda, plainly and simply pay for the consultation to speak to her. But even if it isn't today, it can be tomorrow. But as long as you can message me, I could possibly give Belinda's contact to you so that she can contact you back. Very rarely give her number out, but if it's an emergency, then you can talk to her and get off your chest what you need to when it comes to your situation. I'm thankful about Belinda's gift that she has. She's helped me so much with myself, learning to love me. And without her support, how possibly could we bounce off one another? We're blessed to be together. Life works in very weird, mysterious ways. The spirits are always with us, and the guides and ancestors. Even if we have a close friend in spirit who never backs down and is always by our side, we must be thankful that we have at least somebody. We have this spiritual energy, but we have a living physical friend that wants to be there. We can't push them away. We've got to start by recognizing that it's not a weakness to have help from people. Belinda's calling, I've got to go. The email is, I'm gonna put the link for the Etsy. I have to leave. Many blessings, and plant that seed of